In the village of Uran, there lived a powerful chief who believed money made him better than everyone else. He mocked the poor, insulted the weak, and laughed at hunger. But one season changed everything. This is not just a story, it is a lesson. In the heart of a quiet village called Uran, surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth roads, lived a man everyone knew, Chief Akan. He was not just rich, he was the richest man in Uran. His compound was large, his barns overflowed with yams, and his voice carried authority wherever he went. But Chief Akan had one problem: his pride. He believed wealth was proof that he was better than everyone else. Whenever poor villagers gathered at the market square, Chief Akan would sit under the big mango tree, watching them with mocking eyes. "Look at them," he would laugh. "People who wake up early but still sleep hungry." If a poor man greeted him, he would ignore the greeting. If a widow passed by, he would shake his head in disgust. "You see why poverty would never leave you?" he once said loudly. "It is because you people think too small." The villagers feared him. Some admired his wealth, but many whispered behind his back. They said wealth had hardened his heart. Among the poor of Uran lived a quiet man named Etim. He had little, no big farm, no goats, no fine clothes, but he had peace. Every morning, Etim greeted everyone with respect, even Chief Akan. "Good morning, my chief," Etim would say. Chief Akan would laugh. "What is good in your morning, you that cannot even feed your children well?" Still, Etim never answered insults with anger. He believed words spoken in pride always return. One market day, Chief Akan stood up and addressed the villagers. "Listen to me," he said. "Poverty is a choice. Anyone poor in Uran deserves it." Silence covered the crowd. Even the elders looked away. That day, something changed in the air. The pride of one man was growing too big, and unseen trouble was already on its way. After that market day, Chief Akan's pride only grew stronger. He stopped attending village meetings, claiming they were for people who had nothing better to do. Meanwhile, Etim continued living quietly. He helped farmers clear their land, fetched water for widows, and shared food whenever he could, even when he barely had enough. One evening, Etim passed by Chief Akan's house and found the chief shouting at his workers. "You are all useless," Chief Akan yelled. "If you were smart, you wouldn't be poor." The workers kept quiet. Poverty had already stolen their voices. That same night, dark clouds gathered over Uran. Heavy rain fell like it had never fallen before. Farms were flooded, roads were destroyed, streams overflowed. At first, Chief Akan laughed. He said, "What is rain? My barns are strong." But days later, sickness entered his goat pen. His animals began to die one by one. The rain destroyed his largest yam farm. Thieves broke into his storehouse when his guards abandoned him. Suddenly, the man who mocked hunger began to feel hunger. People who once surrounded him disappeared. Friends stopped visiting. When he sent for help, excuses came instead. Chief Akan was confused. He asked himself, where are the people I helped? He sold his wrappers, then his furniture, then his land. Still, things got worse. One evening, with no food left, Chief Akan wrapped his body with an old cloth and walked through the village quietly, hoping nobody would recognize him. That was when he met Etim. Etim looked at him closely and recognized the proud chief. He did not laugh. He did not mock. Instead, he said, "Come inside." Inside Etim's hut, There was no luxury, just a mat, a clay pot, and a small bowl of gari. Etim poured water, mixed the gari, and placed it before Chief Akan. "Eat," he said. Chief Akan stared at the bowl. Tears filled his eyes. This is what you have?" he asked. "Yes," Etim replied, calmly. "And today it is enough." Chief Akan broke down. For the first time in his life, he cried before another man. "I mocked you," he said. "I mocked everyone like you." Etim sat quietly and listened. Chief Akan continued. "Riches are visitors. Character is a resident." Those words pierced Chief Akan's heart. That night, Chief Akan slept on Etim's floor. No guards, no titles, just silence and deep thoughts. The next morning, he went to the village square, not as a chief, but as a man. He apologized. He said, "I was wrong. I used wealth to insult people." The villagers were shocked. Some doubted him. Others felt pity. But time would test his words. Months later, fortune returned to Uran. Harvests were good, trade improved, and slowly, Chief Akan's wealth returned too. But this time, his heart was different. He rebuilt his farms and called the poor to work, not as servants, but as partners. He paid fairly. He listened. Widows no longer feared his compound. Orphans ate from his kitchen. One market day, a poor boy greeted him. "Good afternoon, sir." Chief Akan smiled and replied, "Good afternoon, my son." The villagers noticed. Uran was changing. At the next elders' meeting, the oldest man stood up and said, "Let this story be told to our children." And so it became a lesson in Uran. Never mock the poor. Pride can destroy faster than poverty. Today's wealth does not guarantee tomorrow. And the name of Chief Akan was no longer spoken with fear, but with respect.